Yo, welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. We are here. It is a Sunday. I'm about to go get my nails done, but all of a sudden I was just like, I'm feeling a vibe. I'm like, man, I want to blow this shit up. Is that okay? Can I blow some shit up? Can I just be like, I'm going to blow my shit up. I'm going to blow the fuck up. I'm gonna do something banana crazy in 2025. You know, what I would do if I wanted to go banana crazy in 2025. So I want you to just take a moment, take a breath. Get inside your body. Yeah, sit back. Think of it like 2025. You're sitting back. You got a margarita in hand. You're staring at every little thing you fucking built. The money in your bank account, wild. The clients obsessed with your work, fucking next delicious level. The way you feel about your business, free, powerful, undeniable. You're not just doing well. You're fucking liberated. You're feeling amazing, iconic, fulfilled, joyous. Baseline, that's like the state of being, baseline. And it all started because you were like, I'm done, daddy. I am so fucking done. I am so fucking done sitting on this sideline. I'm so fucking done watching the Super Bowl and my ass not being in the Super Bowl. I don't even like football, guys. I'm so done. I'm just done. I'm getting in the fucking arena. I'm going to play full out. Fuck it, I'm in. That's kind of like how I want to be every day. I've just decided. I was like, I said to Kayla the other day, I was like, I'm in my linen era. I want to wear flowy overshirts and flowy pants with a tiny bikini looking top. And that's that to me is rich bitch era. I'm in my rich bitch era. I'm you know what? I'm going to flow every time. So I've been putting on these really flowy man shirts. And if you're watching the podcast on YouTube, you can see it. Flowy man shirts, flowy pants with some bosom push-up bras and just being and I've been running around in the house being I'm a rich bitch. And Andy's just sure. He's what Kool-Aid are you drinking, bro? And I was I'm that rich bitch. And I'll just flow in my outfit like a ghost. And I'm just I'm a rich bitch. Just call me rich. That's just my vibe right now. That's what I'm doing. So for me, I'm just let me step into my rich bitch era. I'm feeling a vibe. There are moments when I'm I feel this is really what rich bitch means to me. Rich bitch means to me when I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling myself. I'm feeling everything's not working. I'm feeling everything's failing. If you were with me in January, you were with me in it was our quantum purging. We were releasing. We were having massive deaths. I thought January was supposed to be go, go, go. And January was oh, fuck my life. I'm going to still go, but fuck my life. I don't know I got to grab my ankles. That's how I felt in January. And I was just fuck my life. Grab your ankles. We're going to go for this, and it's I don't even know where I'm going. I don't even have any clarity. I feel fucking more confused than ever. And I feel a lack of direction, but we're just going to fucking go and see what happens. And then now I'm just I feel really I've stepped into my clarity. I'm in my rich bitch era. And I always remind myself of this. And this is when I know I'm rich bitch, just because of the fact that I can have quantum shifts that fast, where in 1 month I will feel completely confused. And another month I will feel completely in the know, complete clarity, complete faith, complete unwavering, unfuckwithable self-expression, all of that stuff. And it's just because that I know myself to do hard things with ease. That's my identity. That's what I believe in. And that's something I cultivated all last year. I was I do hard things with ease. Confusion, I ate that shit for breakfast. We move in confusion. Confusion isn't trying to stop me. It's trying to help. It's trying to double check. The universe is double checking whether I'm all in or not. That's how I look at it. I'm all, bitch, I'm all in. Let me go. I'll keep going. I'll keep going without clarity. I'll keep moving. It feels good. It scares the fuck out of me. We fucking go. Like, this is how I'm feeling. That's like rich bitch era. Like, for me, rich bitch era is like, I'm full self-acceptance of anywhere that I am at, and knowing that I get a choice at that crossroads to believe that my insecurities, to believe that my shame, my guilt, to believe that like me failing, all of those things are in my highest good. They're in my highest good. And I allow myself to have a bad day because that's a rich bitch. Like, I can have a bad day. Like when people are like, I can't afford to have a bad day. That ain't rich bitch energy. We need rich bitch energy. Okay? I can't afford to have a bad day. Bro, the reason why you continue to have bad days is because you won't even allow yourself to fully accept the fact that you have a bad day. Like, I was just having this conversation with my partner, Andy. He was like, you know, his guy, Aaron Ray, he coaches a professional golfer, 25th in the world, and he had a bad day. He had a bad golf game the day before. Went over to go coach him in the morning, and you know, is not like his warm up is kind of feeling a little off. His shots are feeling off, whatever. So he's kind of going in the mindset with like having like a bad day, and not only that, but like I was like, you know, and I asked Andy, I was like, what is he afraid of? He's like, he's afraid of failing. I was like, who is he afraid of failing? Like, who is he afraid of failing? Like, is it himself? Is it someone else? And he goes, probably his dad, but that's a deep down thing. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So if it's his dad that he fears of failing, because obviously, you know, Aaron's been, not obviously, but Aaron has been, you know, in the golf game since he was 3. And the kid's like 30 now. So it's like, you know, it's obvious. It's like, this is a big part of his identity. But then at the same time, I was like, well, have you ever told him, can you celebrate the fact that you're allowing yourself to have a bad morning? Can you not even celebrate? Can you accept it? Can you just be like, I'm going to give myself the permission to have a bad day? You know, and Andy is just like, fuck, no. And I was like, you know what the funny thing is at the moment that he gives himself the permission to have a bad day, he's actually healing. He's digesting, because the way that we heal trauma within the body, the way that we heal childhood wounds is to digest it, because trauma lives in the body. It doesn't live in the mind. Everything happens in the body, just like selling. But we won't get into that right now. This is the reason why everything I do is body-based, because of the fact that everything happens within the body. You know, the body always. You understand your body's wisdom? Oh, daddy, mommy, you're going to be a rich bitch. Like, see, this is the thing. So that self-acceptance, to allow yourself to fully self-accept something, all of a sudden, you have now given yourself permission. Now it's easier to integrate that. And once you integrate, you digest it. Literally, like it eats it. Your body eats trauma within your body. It gets digested within you, becomes alchemized. And then now the shadowy part of you that you're like, oh, I don't want to fail. I don't want to feel like I have to have a bad day, because then I'll have a bad game. If I have a bad game, then I'll really feel down on myself. And it's like, can I be fully self-acceptance that I had a bad game? Can I celebrate the fact that, like, I'm doing something I'm really proud of? Like, that's another thing, is that we're so in it when we're tunnel visioned. And I am so like this as well. But when we get tunnel visioned into what it is that we believe we need to be, you know, where we need to be at because of how many years we've been doing the thing, or we get down on ourselves or something of that nature, it's like, can I be proud of the person I am today? And me, that pride I have for me is that are on the days where I'm really down and I fully self-accept that aspect. And then even bigger, and this is where you really get rich bitch energy, is like you celebrate it. I celebrate my confusion. I celebrate my worry. I celebrate my insecurities. I celebrate my shame. I celebrate my guilt. Because in those moments when I celebrate them, when I fully self-accept them, when I say, hey, you're allowed to feel that. And you know what? If you want to have a bad day today, baby, you can have a bad day. That's rich bitch motherfucking energy. That's what I mean by being a rich bitch. And you know what's funny is that, like, the more that you do that kind of stuff, the more you become more aligned with what it is that you do truly desire, what your purpose is on this planet. Because of the fact that you won't let anything stop you. You're like, you know, let's say you're going to go make a big investment. You're like, I'm about to spend money on this course, program, mentorship, whatever it might be. I know it could help me. But I'm scared because of the money. right? And it's not that you're scared because of the money. That's just a habit. We habitually have been taught to talk about the expense of everything. It's the reason why I don't utilize the terminology expensive. I just say I don't value the thing. I'm like, yeah, I go over here for a massage. It costs $220 for an hour. I don't quite value massages that much for 1 hour. That's a different than, oh, that's way too fucking expensive. Because then now all of a sudden I'm in lack, but no, I just don't value it. So I'm not going to spend my money on it. Whether or not I had the money, I don't value it. So it is what it is. So it's not that it's too expensive. For me, it's more just like, okay, here we go. So like, this is how you can shift. It's like every word that comes out of your mouth is really, really important. It is so, so important, in fact, that because of the words that are coming out of your mouth, it solidifies within your subconscious what you believe about yourself, your identity. And like I told you in the last podcast episode, you have to scale your identity before you can scale your income. It is what it is. I'm not telling you anything new. I'm just telling you what's true. But nobody wants to play this game. Everybody wants to play the other game. Everybody wants to play the logical game. Everybody wants to play the fucking, like, how do I push myself to get to this far? And then they get mad when they're overworked, overwhelmed, and then they try to avoid those feelings, and then we're just going to continue the circle and the cycle. And I'm over here yawning at everybody's complaints, and I'm just like, okay. Are you ready to change your identity? No? Okay, well then I'll see you next time. I'm gonna put my Gucci glasses back on and be in my rich bitch era where I'm just sitting back, just watching people stay stuck in the third dimension when they already hear it, when they're already known to be in the fifth. Like, you are in the fifth dimension if you're listening to this. You desire to have higher levels of consciousness. You desire not everything to be black and white. You desire for there to be shades of gray. You desire the knowing, which knowing is potential. Knowing is possibility. Knowing is magic. That knowing that there are infinite possibilities, potentials, perspectives, perceptions, that you get to choose which one's real for you. That's rich bitch energy. Rich bitch energy is to go in is to choose through my past that there is evidence that I am capable of things, that I'm just capable. You have the evidence within your life that you are abso-fucking-lutely capable. Why? Because of things you've done that you didn't know how to do before. Okay, ride a bike, drive a car, walk, do a cartwheel, swim, tattoo, do art. All of those are just skills you taught yourself how to do. That's not ingrained. The only reason why some people are better at things than others is because they have the passion to do it. If you do not have the passion to make art, then why the fuck are you making art? Just, like, oh, because I'm good at it? Like, oh, no, that's not the purpose of the planet. That's not your purpose. So it's like, of course, like, if I'm good at math, but I don't have a passion to go fucking do math, then I'm not going to go fucking do math and get better at it. Like, that's not the thing. Anybody can get better at skills. You can get better at skills at anything. You can actually teach yourself how to like things. Isn't that the crazy thing? You can actually teach yourself to love things. You're like, wow, I can actually learn to love this. And so it's like, if I'm the kind of person that wants to decide, this is the identity. If I'm the kind of person, this is the characteristics, this is what I believe myself to be. I decide that I'm solution-oriented. I decide I am capable. And then I will source evidence to prove it. I can swim, I can walk, I can dance. Maybe not very well, but you know what? I don't give a shit. I can lift pretty good weights. I can do some squats. I can tattoo. I can run a business. I can teach business. All of these things that source evidence that I'm capable. Now that I understand, hey, I'm capable. I'm a capable woman. That's what I believe myself to be. Now I come to a point where I want to do something new. Oh, I want to do something new, something I've never done before. That's the scary part. You've never done it before, so you don't have the evidence of it actually working. But that's because you're trying to think of how the future would work, and you're only thinking about how, like, oh, well, remember all those other times it didn't work. But do you remember any of those times that it did? That things that you've done that you put your mind to did work. The amount of effort and energy and hours you put into something to make it work. You made it work because you decided that you were capable. You had that in your identity. So now you're walking to this new thing and you're like, oh, the moment I set my mind to this, the moment I say I'm committed to this, I create freedom within my body because I'm committed. I'm doubling down. The moment I just say, yes, I'm in, that's literally rich bitch energy. You've just committed to yourself. Now you're free. Most people have one foot in, one foot out. That's the reason why they're always like back and forth. Oh my God, this has to work or my whole life is over. Oh my God, I have no money in my bank account and whatever that fucking nonsense things that, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not a hater. Like I've had my own moments of similar situations. The thing is that those voices in your head aren't actually true. They're not actually speaking truth. They're the things that they know. Those voices are what stop you. And it knows it stops you because you enjoy being stopped because you don't want to. Like there's a part of you that has a lot of fear. Your nervous system only wants to deal in guarantees. But you've got to train the nervous system to be flexible enough for you to know that, hey, I am the motherfucking guarantee. I guarantee I'm capable and I will figure this fucking out. Even though I've never done it before. Why? Because I can source energy and I choose to look at my past, source the evidence that I am capable of things. Doesn't mean I'm capable of this particular thing, but doesn't mean that I don't know how to figure it out once I commit to it. Commitment is freedom. Guys, people think commitment is like, let me put it in, oh no, now I can never back out. What does that mean? Why would you even want to back out? I was having this conversation with my with Andy, and we left a sweet love note in the ARC in one of our daily trainings for this month on purpose. And he was saying, he was like, well, the reason why he's like, I could never do face to camera. I thought I looked goofy on camera. And this is my boyfriend who has almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube and makes millions and millions and millions of dollars on YouTube teaching golf. Like millions. Through sponsorships, through memberships, through YouTube revenue, through all the things. And he's like, and when he first started, he was like, I do not like my face on camera. And they've been doing this for 12 fucking years. He's like, but that's just a skill that I have to get used to and do. And then I started to learn to love it. Now the man fucking can be on camera. He's so, I don't even know what he's talking about. I was like, baby, you hot on camera. I'm going to sit on that face. So yeah. So I was like, okay, honey, that's, but like for him, totally. Because to him, it's important. And so what did he do? He's like, no, but I didn't have a plan B. This was the only plan. We doubled down on this plan. That's rich bitch energy. Because you're like, oh no, there is no plan B. What are you talking about? If this fails, I just got to learn from it and keep fucking going. Like, there is no fucking plan B. There is no plan B. Your car breaks down, you lose your phone, you call a tow truck, you lose your phone service, you fucking wave down another car. You don't see any cars, you fucking walk. What are you going to stay in the middle of the woods? Not get yourself out? You're going to try and figure it the fuck out, right? But when you give yourself the plan B, when you constantly are telling yourself, well, if this doesn't work, then it's over and I've got to go back to work. What the fuck? It's like, no, that's not rich bitch energy. That's crybaby energy. Get in the fucking room. Get on the fucking bike. Get at the fucking gym. Do the fucking course. Get the fucking mentorship. Go to the fucking seminar. Like, be in the room with the people that fucking light you the fuck up. So if you can't source your own evidence, source someone else's evidence. Look at someone else that looks like you and you're just like, wow, she's doing what I want to do. Look at her do it. Like, it's so easy. It's stupid. But we make it so hard on ourselves because we're human and, we got to love on that part of ourselves. This is the thing. It's this constant permission and acceptance of exactly where you are and of exactly the way you think, because all of a sudden you're like, oh, Reese is making me feel shame for who I've been. I don't want to be this person anymore. Why? Don't feel shame. If you feel shame, love on the shame. Accept the shame. Be like, oh, you know what? She's right. And I know myself to be capable. All right, I'm going to start today. Yay. And then if by saying that declaration gives you uncomfortability within your body, you go into that uncomfortability and you lean in and you go, oh. Because most likely it's a little girl or a little boy part of you or little person part of you who is like, like, I'm really scared and you're freaking me out and I'm not sure I can trust what we're about to do because we've never done it before. So what do? You got to reparent the little child within you. You got to love on it. You got to say, hey, can you trust me to do this? Can you trust me to do this? I know we've never done this before, but can you trust me? Just that acknowledgement within your body. Again, integration, digestion of trauma. Because we all have it. I don't care if you've had the best childhood of your life or if you had the worst childhood of your life. I don't care, young adult, teen, even day before yesterday, you. There's always room for reparenting the parts of you and acknowledging the parts of you that need to be acknowledged. The reason why we have sensations in the body is so that we acknowledge them. Most people want to numb out and don't want to acknowledge, and they want to keep doing the thing that they're doing and then complain about the reasons why they're doing it. And hey, that gets to be okay too, because guess what? Your shadow, when you do that, your shadow just means that you are getting fulfillment by complaining. Most of us just want love, acknowledgement, to be seen, heard, accepted. When you complain, and let's say you complain to your partner, what does that partner do? I mean, if they're a loving partner, they're going to be like, "Oh, babe, you're doing amazing. And I know it's hard, huh? You had a bad day. Yeah, that sucks. I'm so sorry. Oh, give me a hug." Right? And you get love. What? You just manipulated your way into love. That's why we complain. That's why we actually have self-fulfilling prophecies. It's the reasons why things keep happening, because of the fact that your body, your shadow, this is the shadow side of you. This is your subconscious side of you that says, like the egoic part of you says, that these are acceptable feelings to have and these are non-acceptable feelings to have, and there are lists. Your ego has a list of what side is acceptable, what side is not acceptable. You're allowed to be this much, but not too much. You're allowed to be this, and not this, not to this. Like you have like a line in the sand of what you're allowed to be or what you're not allowed to be, or how far you can be that thing, right? Or how unfar you could be that thing, whatever it is. And so when we have the shadow side. And so it's like when we decide that we're going to say, "Oh, we had a bad day," or whatever, and we tell someone about it, we want them to acknowledge it. We want them to tell us something nice about it. We want them to and then when we're like, "Oh, but don't try to make me feel better about it." It's like that right there is also a shadow that you're getting fulfillment in. So the way that I look at it is rich energy is that when you decide that you are a complainer and you like to complain and you're like your motherfucking drama and you like to tell yourself that you're not good at this or good at that, or you're not capable of this, or that you can't afford that, or whatever it is, that you like it and it fulfills something. Because to have what you have right now, the beliefs, the identity, the things, the place you're at, this experience you're experiencing, the reality that you're in, that's a choice. You chose to have those things. And as much as you want to fight me on it, think about it. Ask if there's any truth to the fact that when you complain or when you cry about something or when you say you can't afford something, what is it? Can you actually dive into the deeper layer? The deeper layers, right? Can you actually dive into the deeper layers of the thing? And actually get to know what your body is actually trying to say before your mind tries to create stories around it. Because those stories are habitual stories that your mind has been telling a part of you, right? Because if you think about it, think about this. I want you in your mind, without saying a word. I want you in your mind to say, "I am capable." Okay, did you do it? Okay, I want you to do it again. In your mind, I want you to say, without using your lips, closing your eyes, and I want you to say, "I am capable." Did you do it? Did you notice how your body responded to that? My heart opened. My mouth wanted to smile. I could feel it in my body. Did you hear it? You heard it, right? Who is the one saying it and who is the one hearing it? Who is the one saying it and who is the one hearing it? So you have to understand that right there, the one saying it and hearing it, is higher levels of consciousness. That you actually have a higher level of consciousness that can actually watch everything that is happening, the stories you tell yourself, the perception of the experience of your own reality. Because my reality is my reality. Your reality is your reality. And you get to change that when you know that you can be the observer. So me here, this is rich bitch energy, me here, and if you're watching me on my YouTube, so you're watching me on camera, like I'm actually like holding my hand above my head because I'm over me. I'm watching me like a motherfucking angel or a guide or a goddess or a bird, whatever feels fucking yummy. Okay. my rich bitch goddess era up here is watching down on me and is able to observe the stories that I tell my goddamn self. And if I choose to want to see that more often so that I can separate myself from the story, still allow myself to complain, but laugh about it because I'm like, you love to complain. And I do. I love to complain. I'm the kind of girl that like, I loved to manipulate my way into getting things because I didn't know how to ask for them. I didn't know how to use my mouth because I was afraid of what my people might think, or I might get rejected if I asked, hey, can I have a hug? Instead, I was like, oh, no, I just had such a bad day. And then my boyfriend gives me a hug, and I was like, yay. I got what I wanted. I got love. I'm so depressed today. So I get attention. It's like, that's like, and that gets to be yummy. There's, like, for me, when I say that out loud, there is zero judgment. There is zero judgment. And when I hold judgment to myself, then I love on that part. That's rich bitch energy. And when we can do that, then we can get into the motherfucking strategies. Right? Step 1. That rich bitch energy, the way that we do that, sourcing the capabilities, the evidence of the capabilities, choosing the perception, choosing to see what my identity gets to be, and then moving, fully self-accepting, loving on, and continue to move. Learning to reframe, watch myself continue to move, knowing that I'm all of a sudden, I am a higher being, I am a higher level of consciousness that is hearing and listening all at the same time, without even having to move my mouth and getting to see what the story is that I'm telling myself, and I get to shift it because I'm not aware. That's rich bitch energy, and you still move. Okay, so step 1, burning the starving artist identity to the ground. So first thing I do, drop the struggle bus story. The sad little story that says I can't raise my prices, or people won't book with me, or I don't know how to build a brand, or I don't know how to, create multiple income streams. I'll lose this business. I don't want to work so hard. I don't want to spend so much time on social media. Wow. Oh my gosh. Like the entitlement. When people are like, I just don't want to spend so much time on social media. I'm like, then you don't want to run a motherfucking business. This is a business. Like, you can absolutely grow a business other ways. You want to do word of mouth? My biz bestie, Kayla, she inadvertently grew her like dog sitting business on accident because she's just so good at it that, since she works mostly from home, that all of a sudden she's just like, yeah, I've got to go take care of this dog. She's like staying at other people's houses, and people just get to and look at her. She's like blowing up her business. She's like making money while making money. The girl already made multiple income streams. You know what I mean? Like, look at her go. She's got a doggy business, and she's like a fucking badass assistant. Like, badass, that's like a very small, not even the right word for her. So it's like she's a badass just at everything that she does for me. And she does this, like, look at her go. And she doesn't use social media for none of that shit. So you don't have to use social media, okay? But it's not like if you want to grow in the way that you want to grow, you want to make millions, then that is what it is, right? So when I think about losing the starving artist mentality, I don't necessarily mean that you have to force your way out of it and not ever feel it. No, actually, I mean feel the fucker. Feel the victim in your body. Love the victim. Let yourself have your victim days, but always knowing that you are you are the observer of this as well, that you don't actually have to stay stuck in the story. You can offer yourself the space to be in it, to allow yourself to have a moment, to be like, you know what, I'm just going to allow myself and fully self-accept that today's just going to be a bad day, and I just want to be in my victim. Oh my gosh, you want to know how fast you will get out of that victim? So fast, because of the fact that you fully self-accepted it. So when I first started, I had so much fear around all the things. I had so much fear to the point where I took tattoos that were not mine, posted them as my own, because I didn't love who I was. I didn't love the artwork. I didn't think I was good enough. And I did like the cardinal sin. I was so afraid of losing people. I did the very thing that lost me everything. And then to come back, gosh, and then to come back, like, and to be like, I am going to be in integrity. Will anybody ever believe me that I'm ever in integrity again? Right? Most of the time, the things that we do are based on what the opinions of others, what people think of us, what people will think of us or what people won't think of us. We are constantly at the mercy of someone else's opinion. Can you just let it go? Can you just be like, you know what? Let them think what they want. Let them think what they want. This is that Mel Robbins new theory, the let them theory that came out. I've been reading about this theory for a while now. I've seen her TED Talks on him, and now that she's written a book, it's so fucking good. Highly recommend. But it's like, can you just let them think whatever the fuck they want? You know what I mean? Let them. Let your shop think this. Let your friends, your family, let them. They're going to have an opinion about you no matter what. Can you be proud of yourself? Can you be proud of yourself and the things that you do? So when I first started, yeah, of course, I had fear. I thought charging more would mean losing people, right? But guess what? The people who actually value your work, they don't flinch at rates. They don't even think about that. They're just like, okay, yeah, here, cool, thanks. And instead of saying, like, I hope someone books with me, it's like, I'm the only option for the right people. I'm the only option for the right people. And that is true. Is that not true? I am the only option for the right people. Just like when I say, when things are really hard, I'm like, I know that everything is happening in my highest good. I know that. Even when I can't see what the wisdom is of this thing that's happening that doesn't make me feel very comfortable in my body, and it makes me feel like all types of failure, and it makes me feel like people are looking at me awfully, and I'm like, oh, now people are watching me fail. Let them, number one. And then just remember, like, everything's happening for my highest good, and I know that I'm gonna be like, when these things happen, I'm like, I'm a multimillionaire. I'm a multimillionaire because of these things. I haven't made a multi-million-dollar year. I haven't even made $1 million year yet. You liked my words? And that just came out of me. Spirit speaking through me. Okay, so it's like, write down every limiting belief you have and burn it. Like, if you have to ritualize that shit, like, full send. Write down those limiting beliefs and replace it with the truth. My work is worthy. I'm highly sought after. People want to pay me for transformation. It's because they do. You pay people for transformation. Is that not true? You go to a chiropractor, you go to your dentist, you go to your doctor, you go to a tattoo session, you go to a yoga session, you go to the gym. That's all transformation. You're paying someone for a transformation. That's all people want. Give it to them. The next thing I would do to blow up my fucking business, aside from rich bitch energy and learning nervous system work, is to make the brand undeniable. And you can't make a brand undeniable without knowing your body. You just can't. I've tried. And something that I've discovered, and this hasn't been something that I discovered just recently, but it has been something I've discovered to articulate recently, because I didn't really know. I guess I wasn't really saying the full thing. And I kept trying to dive deeper into my purpose. I kept trying to I'm like, what's the deepening within my brand, right? Because I'm just refining and getting better and deepening over time. Like, everything is working. I'm just refining and deepening. That's this year's sentence of like the year. It's like, I'm just refining and deepening. And I wanted to deepen this. And I was like, Reese, what is the thing you do every single fucking day? And I'm like, I meditate every single fucking day, but I meditate in different ways. I meditate to ask for help and sort out like how I can be of more service to my people. I meditate on, what the difference is between my ego and my intuition. I reparent my inner child, inner teen. I get to know my ego, my inner critic really well. I get to know my highest self. I know my guides and my goddesses. They're the feelings, the feeling of expansion. I'm constantly in the quantum, understanding what my future looks like and what that feels like in my body, because I know that a feeling is actually what I'm searching for over the thing that I think that I want. And anytime that I can really evoke that feeling within my body, all of a sudden now I'm like, This is fulfillment. This is rich. This is wealthy. This is what money feels like. This is what 50 people in a launch feels like. This is what $20,000 in deposits looks like. It's like, this is what someone buying my painting feels like. This is what, people coming into meditation feel. So I noticed that like the one big thing that I do is I'm constantly asking my body. I'm asking my body all of the time. I am constantly being like, what's in my body? What is my body saying? Can I understand the language of my body? Like any other language, it takes time to get to know it. People are like, I know my body. I'm like, do you? Do you actually give it space? Do you actually ask, hey body, how would you like to breathe today? Every time I ask someone that, everybody goes, wow, that's my biggest breath of the day, my most conscious breath of the day. And I'm like, yeah, ask your body that. And so when I think about making your brand undeniable, I teach a lot on like messaging and storytelling and having like emotional content. But the funny thing is that even if you have like emotional, heart-wrenching, visceral storytelling type content, it has to be and exude your essence and energy through it, because everything is based in energy. Everything is a nervous system conversation. If your level of like, because since I know that like I know a strategy, but I can tell when my energy is off, when I'm feeling pushy, when I feel chasey. And what's funny is that even when I'm feeling those things, I fully self-accept and I keep fucking going. Because the thing is that when I feel chasey or some, like when I feel that feeling in my body, I know that chasey feeling is my body trying to get me to stop doing what I'm doing because I'm afraid of what people might think about me. Chasey to who? Pushy to who? So I'm like, nah, dude. If I feel chasey and this is trying to get me to stop, I'm going to keep going and I'm going to break through the chase. Why? Because I don't, like, the thing is that I know that at the end of the day, the reason why, if I'm not showing up the way that I want to show up in the online space, the reason why is because I'm caring too much about what other people think. It's case in point. People's opinions of me, people's judgments of me dictate what I do. Therefore, I feel the thing called chasey in my body because we see maybe someone else doing something like that. And we're like, oh gosh, that's triggering. It's like selling for me. It's like when you know how to, when like holding a brand and selling every day is something that like people are like, oh, I don't want to feel pushy about it. I'm like, but the only reason why people feel pushy, or the only reason why you feel pushy, is because you're afraid of someone else thinking that you are pushy. And so then you stop selling your thing. You stop going for your launch. You stop telling people your books are open. You know what I mean? And so it's like all of a sudden now you're like, oh wow, if I just was like, let them think I'm pushy and I'm going to keep putting myself out there. Well, the moment I say let them to them and like realize that I'm like releasing this weight where I'm trying to make people think something about me, all of a sudden my content gets better because of the fact that like my essence and energy is in it. And then I start to deepen into it. And then now everybody stops in the scroll. Now everybody's like, wow, I really felt that. I'm actually feeling FOMO because you talk about it so much. I had someone in the DMs the other day being like, 3 people in the DMs the other day being like, man, I am having so much FOMO for Branded and Booked. Like, I want to be in Branded and Booked. I keep trying to talk myself out of it because money is tight or because I've got this or whatever. And I'm just like, but then they're like, you know what, fuck it, go for it. Like I hear that. They're like, but I'm feeling FOMO, so I want it. I want in. And they're like, I know I am capable. This is where the identity starts to shift because like I'm over here continuing to do the thing. They're feeling FOMO. They're getting the identity shift and realizing that they're actually really capable of really incredible things. Just because I kept going. Just because I combated through the chasey energy. Like, and I feel chasey or sometimes feel pushy and sometimes feel all of the things like, oh, this is too much and da-da-da-da. But too much for who? Too chasey for who? Why can't I let them think whatever they want? Because that I give them that, I respect them that. I respect people and they can do whatever they think. But then can I also the thing is that I want to be proud of myself. And whatever I do, now maybe that means it does stop. Like I stopped fucking doing the thing, right? So it's like, then can I be proud of the fact that I stopped? Right? So the thing is that like your brand isn't just what you do. It's how you make people feel. But it's also how you understand how you feel as you do a thing. The more you understand the language of the body, the more that you understand your language of the body, the more you're going to understand how to really alchemize and transmute that energy within your body into making other people feel something. And this means that you're like, oh, I can sharpen my message. I actually do know how to stand. Like, I know what I stand for. Like, I'm not over here. I don't stand for me not being chasey. But I also I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be chasey. But at the same time, my identity is rooted in that I don't give the fuck up. I don't give up. So if that means I'm going to be in chasey energy for a little bit so that I can continue to combat that aspect, I'm going to lean into the chasey energy. I'm going to be like, well, I care so much about, and I know that my work works, and I'm going to release the expectation that I need people to think about me in a certain way, and I'm going to release the outcome of this needs to do this X, Y, and Z thing, and I'm just going to show up, and I'm going to do the thing, and I'm going to continue to refine and get better over time, and I'm going to, get better at the things that I'm saying and who I'm being and who I am as the embodiment of my brand. And when I say embodiment, this is embodiment. People are like, oh, you being the embodiment of your brand, and they don't even know what that means. And I'm just like, no, embodiment is the aspect of of you truly living, breathing, the living, breathing thing. Your brand is a living, breathing entity. People they feel that level of presence and power and autonomy that you hold, right? And so it's just oh my gosh, because a brand is so much more than just messaging. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a big part of it, but a brand is a living, breathing thing. And when it becomes that, then it gets to have evolution, and it gets to grow, and it gets to go bigger, and it gets to just be oh my gosh, the more I evolve, the more growth, the more gains. Right? And then all of a sudden it's the more growth, the more gains, and then it's growth over goals. So now all you care about is you getting better at you. You just getting better at you versus I need to hit X, Y, and Z amount. Now don't get me wrong. I love a goal. Goals are games. But if it's no longer a game for you and you're basically putting all this pressure on this one thing, then of course that's going to be really tough. Really, really tough. Because that could mean, oh, you're going to let this one time of failing, maybe the second time, maybe the third time of failing, and you're going to let it best you. This is all just a game. Money's a game. My mom asked me the other day, she's like, you're so obsessed with making more money. This is what she thinks because she sees me on my Instagram. And I'm like, okay, sure. And, I'm not going to correct her on it. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not going to correct her. She's like, but are you happy? And I was like, Mom, I am so happy. I was like, I am the most fulfilled version of myself I've ever been. And money is just a game. Business to me is just a game. I like to play this game. It's like video games for the video gamers. It's they're, people that sit on their computer trying to beat a level and, doing that all day long, and you're wondering how they do it. That's I never understood gamers until I realized that I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer for business. I love growing businesses. I love growing my own, and I love helping other people grow theirs. I love it. So this game that I get to play, that I've been playing for 16 fucking years, is still just a game to me. Do I take it very seriously sometimes? Do I get really bummed out? Yes, of course. Have I been really scared before where I've had really low months, and especially in financially, and where I'm am I going to be able to pay my bills? Am I going to be able to pay my bills? And I always tell myself, yes. Reese, you've always been able to figure it out. You've always been able to figure it out. This is no different. Whenever there's something low, I always tell myself, whenever there's a low, it's just momentum for going up straight to the fucking top. Anytime there's a low in a fucking, when you go down in a roller coaster, it shoots you up to the next high, right? And I believe since I'm playing the gamble game of running my own business, which that it is, you're a gambler. Hello, you're a gambler. When you're playing that game and you're all in, all you're doing is getting better at who you are. And when you think about growth in that way, then the results are inevitable. The results will take care of themselves. And so when you build a brand that's visceral, it's a living, breathing entity that people can feel and feel safe to be in, because you are so full, you're the permission giver for allowing people to see themselves in the way that you see yourself, and the way that you conduct yourself, and the way that you are in your level of presence. People can feel that, and they buy faster and they book faster. Not because of the fact that you made them do anything, but just because of the fact that you said you gave yourself the permission to do whatever the fuck it is that you needed to do in order to get to where you are now. So the step 3 would be build offers that actually support your lifestyle. The thing is that since I'm in the game of helping artists, creatives, coaches, creative entrepreneurs, healers create multiple income streams, because oftentimes we all get pulled into the aspect of doing one-to-one. It's always like tattoos, it's one-to-one person. Coaching, you're having one-to-one coaching. If you're like a life coach, or if you're a money coach, or if you're a business coach, whatever. Everybody starts off with like one-to-one, because they want to like understand their own methodology. They want to it's always like that. And then you get really good at your methodology and you want to go like one-to-many, right? So it's like with healers at Reiki, they like, one-to-one. Maybe your ceremonial tattooist, you're doing Reiki, healing, tarot, and tattooing. It's still one-to-one. So you're like, how do I branch out? So for me, it's like building offers that actually support your lifestyle. Like my lifestyle as a tattoo artist, when I was only tattooing one-to-one at that's the only source of income that I was creating. Of course, it was awesome for the 9 years that I had done it. And then now that we're here, we're on this side, and I'm a coach and I'm like a whole ass brand. It's not just because I'm a coach. Yes, I can make money coaching. Yes, I make money tattooing, but I also make money on brand deals. I've also, I still have my sponsorships. I'm still there's other things that this brand has afforded me to do outside of just the tattooing and outside of just the coaching. And so it's because it's allotted me to do a lot of other things. I get paid to talk on stages now, which is so crazy. I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea. Someone offered me money. I was like, I get to make money talking on a stage, being basically teaching creative entrepreneurs how to build multiple income streams and build brands through my body-based method, because I am a integrative somatic trauma therapist. What the fuck? I had no idea that people would want that, or for me to teach that, or to say anything like that. I was like, I thought when I became a tattoo artist and I wanted to become an educator, I had to teach tattoos. Actually, I don't. I get to be a healer, a meditation coach. I get to be a somatic trauma therapist. I get to be an embodiment coach, a spiritual business coach. I get to do whatever the fuck I want because I've built this brand. And so now I get to build the offers that actually support my lifestyle. So I'm thinking about it, what's freedom to me? Well, I'm like, I still want to tattoo because I fucking love it. I fucking love it. It's art. It makes me feel happy. It's something that I've cultivated and I really love to offer to people. And I love that I get to have that in my back pocket, because now oftentimes I'm going out, people are asking me to do these speaking gigs, and now they're like, hey, can you come and tattoo at the thing and we'll pay you? And I'm like, hell yeah. And then I get paid even more, because people are paying me to get tattooed at their events. And now I'm no longer doing tattoo conventions. I'm actually the only one. I'll make the last time I think we made almost 10 to 14 grand in a single weekend. And I was like, holy shit. And it was so easy, because I was surrounded by people who were like-minded, healers, coaches, entrepreneurs, creatives, who all believed in the power of investing in themselves. So they were like, yeah, of course I'll spend $300 to $400 on a tattoo that takes an hour, because they understand that that's what this is them circulating money and really consciously opening themselves and their wealth container in their bodies. So it's the nervous system wealth container within your body. You're stretching your capacity to receive and to give. And so they understand that. So they're willing to spend, luxury amounts of money to get a small tattoo to commemorate an event that really changed your life. And that's crazy. You guys, I couldn't even fathom any of this stuff. And so this is why it's then we build the offers. So you build the brand, you get booked out, then you build the offers, because now all of a sudden you're like, here, I can create multiple income streams from this brand that I've created that gets to evolve with me. banana cake. So whatever these offers are, whether you want to have more time off, you want to, build digital products, you want to make money while you're sleeping or brushing your teeth or hanging out with your kids, like, or you want to like go off on the beach and you're just like, wow, making money. Like this morning I woke up and I was like, 3 more people in Brandenburg, woo woo! And people are upgrading to VIP all the time. And I'm just like, yes, yes, yes. This gets to be so fucking fun. Like this gets to be the fun, this gets to be super fun. Right. And so this is where it's like, this is what we're doing. Like, this is what you get to aspire to when you create a brand that's a living, breathing entity. And last thing, step 4 would be, well, I think we've talked about this enough, but stop being a victim to your own business. No, it's really being like the only one energy. Like I'm thinking that only one energy. It's like, being a victim to your business. We went over that earlier, but like that, because we want to be in rich bitch energy. And when we're in rich bitch energy, we're like only one energy. Like I'm the only one for the right people, right? We talked about that already, this out of the starving artist mentality. So you're like, I want to be the right one for the right people. And so when I think of that, then I'm speaking to one fucking person. Now I'm creating content that wakes people the fuck up. Because now, like, to be honest, because like most content is fucking boring. It's bland. It's annoying. And if you want content that collapses the buying cycle from months to moments, your content needs to feel like art. It needs to make people stop and feel and say something. And I'm like, I need this person in my life. Like that's really where it's at. So instead of thinking I need to post more, it's like I need to post better. Like I love posting. I love posting every day. Like I love attention. That's it. I'm like, yeah, if I post, I'm going to get attention and that makes me feel good. And especially if I'm selling something and I post about selling something and someone buys that thing, that makes me feel really good, right? So it's like I'm doing it because I know it makes me happy. And I know exactly why, because I'm very honest with myself. And I actually give myself the permission and fully self-accept that I'm allowed to have those things. Because I do desire to impact a lot of people. Now, does my identity get wrapped up in it? Sometimes. But since I'm well aware and since I offer myself the permission to want attention, because when people are like, oh, this attention whore, and I'm like, yes, thank you, I am. People are like, well, fuck, I got nothing on her. I can't talk shit to her because she just says she is, the only times I say not is like someone was like, well, it sounds like someone said to me like a post went viral the other day and it was like, oh, this smells of divorce. Like, because it was something that I was being very like rich bitch energy. It was like, remember who the fuck I am. Don't forget to put my name in your mouth and let my name live rent free in your mind. And I was just being disruptive, as per the usual, being audacious. And someone was like, this smells of divorce energy. And I was like, I've never been divorced, but I think that's funny. And I'm like, oh, I was like, it was so funny because all I wanted to comment back, but I didn't. I was like, sounds like you know what it sounds like you've been through it. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I've never been through that shit. But people, it's so funny. People are such haters, but all they're doing is showing me what their greatest fears are. On a silver platter. They're literally gifting me their greatest fears, shames, insecurities on a silver platter, because the way that people speak and hate is the way that they dislike themselves and hate themselves. And it's really sad. And so it's just like, damn, dude. Like, oh, this old bitch. Like, someone called me an old bitch. And I was like, I'm not old. But then I also thought about it and I was like, oh, this person's really scared of getting old. Like, this person's really scared of looking old and ugly and, and also care so much about vanity and like the way that people look, because they probably not very happy with what's going on with, when they look in the mirror. And so it's just like, these things we're like, okay, like, do your thing. But like posting, like knowing that you're like, let me just like go out there and really own it and not let my inner critic, my ego stop me from showing up when I'm feeling, oh, well, what if people feel this or what if people feel that? It's like, let them, and then go out there and be like, my business is my number one motherfucking priority. If that's my priority, whatever energy I am in, I'm still in the game. I'm still going to play the game. Gamers, when they're depressed, when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're feeling like they're failing, they're still playing the game. They might be frustrated, and they might be frustrated while playing the game. Yes, you might need to take a breather, but they're going to come back and play the motherfucking game. It's never going to stop them. They're not going to not play the game because they're too addicted to it. It's like, that's what I want. Like, I love my business so much to a point of a sexy love affair. And then when I do need space, I get space. That's the kind of business I want to have. But I'm never going to stop. I'm not going to stop myself. Like, I never blame my spirituality for, oh, Spirit's just trying to tell me to calm down and not do the thing. Spirit's making me sick because I need to take a step back. I'm like, yeah, like even when I'm sick, I'm like, does it feel like I'm always asking my body. I'm like asking my body, my inner wisdom, my intuition. I'm like, do I want to post today? Is there something that I want to say today that's really going to make me feel good? If not, then no. I'll do that. I'll say no on the days that I feel really good. But on other days, I'm just like, you know what? But there's something to say every day. And to be honest, all I want to do is get better at doing business. So if I say something today that helps me get better, can I be proud of that? Or can I do something today, like, maybe not do anything, and that makes me feel proud? Can I be proud that I took the day off? Because us as workaholics, as overachievers, like I know me, and I'm always like in, and I never get mad at myself for being that in. Like my mom's like, you work so much. I'm like, but I come and visit you all the time. She's like, yeah, you're right. She's like, you should just give yourself a break. I was like, Mom, how many vacations do I have a year? Like 5. But she's, moms, they love to worry. They want to say something. They want a nitpick. So I let her have it because she needs something to hen over, right? So it's like, that's that thing. But it's like, at the same time, like, be proud of every single thing that you've ever done, every single thing that you've ever felt, and then go out there and practice. You want a more visceral felt brand. You want your clients, your people, your audience to buy the moment that you drop an offer. Then it takes practice. It takes practice, not to the detriment of your body. You do want to still listen. You do still want to hear what it is your body needs. That's why we ask every single day. To have a body-based business, a body-based brand, utilizing body-based marketing and body-based content, it does involve the body a lot. It involves the body. And the reason why I say the body is because the body, when we clean up the connection in our bodies to ourselves, then we have a clearer connection to spirit and to fifth dimension. So I know that this podcast episode is a long one, but the last thing I want you to just do is move like you're fucking proud and move like it's fucking inevitable. Because the biggest thing, move like your success is already happening because it is. Every time doubt creeps in, remind yourself that it's proof you're growing. Anytime fear, it's not a stop sign, it's a fucking green light. It's always expansion. Expansion always comes with discomfort. And welcome that shit because you know it means you're playing a bigger game than you've ever played before. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next episode.